Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the new skill gems. And honestly, I think the new skill gem looks way more interesting than the new expedition contents. You know, when watching the new expedition mechanics, I already felt extremely tired. It just feels like heist all over again with probably a little bit of harvest style mechanics. You know, when you need to choose your modifiers and yeah, just explode the areas and hopefully something good drop out of it. So yeah, what you're gonna see in this video is all the skill gems that are only stat at level 1, which means we do not know how well it will scale at level 20 or even with the quality gems or even with the alternate quality. So yeah, and therefore the gems that in my opinion are trash might not be trash when the manifesto is out tomorrow. Also, while the gems that in my opinion are awesome might not be extremely awesome. Okay, so it really depends on how much nerfs they are going to impose on all the other stuffs. Okay, let's just see the first skill gem. So the first skill we have Spectral Helix. In short, you actually throw a spectral copy of your melee weapon and then it will spin around you in a circular manner. So yeah, as you can see from the video, what it actually does is it swirls around you in a circular manner like I mentioned, and it will just spins out in a larger radius over time. But from my opinion, I think it's actually not so good. Like honestly, it is very cool. Look at all the effects and animation, it's very cool, but look at the amount of damage this character is taking. It's just taking way too much damage before your spectrals can even swirl outwards to the enemy. So you either have to get into very close range and kill them fast, otherwise you will die. Okay, second on the list we have Bone Shatter. Bone Shatter in short is actually like heavy strike, just that if you stun the enemy, you will create a pulse-like effect, and the area of effect is actually quite huge. But you and the enemy will also take additional damage on top of it. Okay, so as you can see from the video, this is actually not a very good example in my opinion. Like, GGG, what are you doing? Why are you showing this video? Is like just taking any melee weapon and slamming it. Yeah, this is a better version. So you can see that he slams the enemy and it creates pulses over the minion that has been stunned. Like okay, the AoE is actually quite decent, but it's not decent enough for clear speed. Honestly, this skill looks very weak. Okay, number 3 we have the Rage Vortex. Rage Vortex will spin a sword moving forward, and it is based on the amount of rage you have. So the more rage you have, the more damage you will deal, and the bigger the AoE will be. And also it has a maximum of 1 Rage Storm only. So you can only have 1 Rage Storm moving forward and no more than 1. Okay, so this is the Rage Vortex. As you can see, he will thrust his sword forward, and it's a little bit similar to like Blade Storm. Also, I think this is only viable more towards Berserker because gaining more rage will allow you to gain more damage and AoE. As you can see, this is a mid-tier map. It actually scales quite well with mapping. For bosses, I'm not sure. Okay, number 4 we have the Earthbreaker support. The Earthbreaker support is actually more of a support gem for the totems, where actually your totems will use the slam skills. So it can be any slam skills, as long as it is equipped with this Earthbreaker support. Okay, so here is the video for the Earthbreaker support. In my opinion, I actually think that this skill is going to be quite popular as well, since generally totem builds are already popular. Be it whether they are good or not, I think many people are actually using them. Whether is it spell or the ancestral totems, like yeah, it is actually being quite widely used. And in terms of map speed clear, I think it's actually very good, very decent. Bossing wise, I am really not sure, but I'm thinking it's actually very good also because it works as if like minions, you have a lot of single target damage. Okay, number 5, we have the Defiance Banner. The Defiance Banner is a new type of banner that grants 30% increased evasion rating and armor, and then nearby enemies have 20% reduced critical strike chance. I don't think a lot of people will actually place the banner, so I'm not going to elaborate more about that. Okay, so the Defiance Banner, what is it actually good for? I think honestly, I think everybody probably knows the answer that has played POE quite well. It is going to be super awesome and powerful for those aura bots or aura stackers. Like if you are intending to have some party play, this banner is definitely very awesome. It grants more survivability for everybody. Okay, number 6, we have Shield Crush. So Shield Crush will deal area damage in 3 waves in front of you. And the very interesting thing about this is that it scales according to physical damage per 15 armor or evasion rating on the shield. So which means that it multiplies according to how much armor or evasion rating you have on it. So the base is already 5 to 7 at level 20. I do not know how much it has. Okay, so this is Shield Charge. As you can see, it has 3 waves of attack. And I think if you actually pair it up with Shield Charge, it has actually a very awesome map clear speed. And also from what I know, it actually has some sort of shotgun mechanics. Like if you were to go near a boss and hit, all 3 waves will actually damage the boss. Number 7, we have the Behead support. So in short, the Behead support actually is like a mini headhunter where you will get the modifiers from the rare monsters for like 20 seconds and you can actually refresh the duration of it. Actually it's not really a mini headhunter. But yeah, okay, that's about it. Okay, so this is the Behead support. They say it's a mini headhunter, but honestly, I think it's worse than a mini headhunter because firstly, when you kill the rare mobs, you do not even get all of its modifier, you only get one of it. And then secondly, if you to kill another rare mob, like let's say your second rare mob, you actually do not get the first modifier back again or refresh, but actually you replace the modifier, which is honestly, in my opinion, quite bad. Number 8, we have Storm Rain. So Storm Rain is actually similar to like Toxic Rain, I assume. Like it actually shoots out a lot of projectiles. Then there will be like sort of charges on the floor or arrow sticks on the floor, and wherever it lands, there will be like arc lightnings that will chain all around the arrow sticks that are on the ground. Okay, so Storm Rain actually with GMP support is quite decent or quite awesome. It actually can clear map very well, and in terms of bossing DPS, I think the single target is also actually very high because of all the arc and chain lightnings. Number 9, we have Explosive Concoction. Explosive Concoction is actually a new type of skill. It actually throws the flask and it is an unarmed attack. It can only be used when you are unarmed, so probably we shall see some face breaker surge in price. I don't know, but it's very amazing because it's very interesting because this skill actually utilizes charges from your Sapphire, Topaz, and Ruby. Even though I know it's not the best, like honestly, you're not gonna have like one Sapphire, one Topaz, and one Ruby flask in your slot at all times, but yeah, it's just very interesting. So this is the Explosive Concoction. I think it's a very extremely interesting skill because it actually throws your flask and you have to be unarmed to use the skill. Well, I'm not sure how well it actually goes with Face Breaker, but I think Face Breaker is definitely a must if you want to use this skill. And moreover, it's also an attack, but it uses elemental skill, so it's somewhat weird. Like you can see from the video, it actually uses the Ruby, Sapphire, and Topaz flask, and it uses up 3 slots already. So I'm really not sure how well this will scale, but seeing the video, I think the map clearing speed is actually quite nice. Okay, number 10, we have Focus Ballista support. So Focus Ballista support actually needs to use together with Projectile Skill Gem. And whatever Ballista that you have placed on the ground, it will actually shoot in the same direction that you are going to fire attack projectile, which is your skill gems. So let's just say if you want to focus on a boss, all your Ballista will actually focus on a boss, or actually if you want to focus on a specific rare mob, all the Ballista will actually focus on that mob as well. So this is the Focus Ballista support. As you can see, the Ballista will actually shoot according to whatever direction that you are shooting at. And at one glance, I understand that this is actually a very powerful bossing support. Like, it might be better than Barrage, I'm not sure. Number 11, we have Ambush. So Ambush is a skill that actually teleports you to the nearby enemy and applying a buff to you that gives you crit chance and crit multiplier. In short, it works like Flicker Strike, but it is not really Flicker Strike. And it has a cooldown time of 5 seconds, so that's actually quite long. Okay, so this is Ambush. Like I mentioned, it's similar to the Flicker Strike, just that after you use the skill, you have to hit again to have the enhanced buff of critical strike chance and multiplier. So I'm really not sure about this skill because it has a high cooldown. Okay, number 12, we have Blade Trap. So Blade Trap is a new kind of trap that when you put the trap on the floor, it actually rotates 4 times in a circular manner. And if you are dual wielding, it actually rotates even faster. And it rotates 1 more additional time. Okay, and here we have the Blade Trap. It actually throws a trap and then it will emerge and rotate 4 times. So if you are dual wielding, it actually rotates 25% faster and it rotates 1 more time, which is 5 times in total. I'm really not sure about this skill because it's a bit slow according to the video, and I'm not even sure if you're able to survive so well with this skill. Okay, number 13, we have Voltaxic Burst. I think that's how you pronounce it. Voltaxic. Yeah. So it actually releases a burst of lightning and chaos spell damage. It acts a little bit like Ice Nova or the Shock Nova, but just that it has a mixture of lightning and chaos damage, and it will actually explode. Enemies killed by this damage will explode. And it actually deals damage equals to 6% of the corpse maximum life. So it is not as powerful as Impulsar, but yeah, I think it's actually pretty awesome. So this is the Voltaxic Burst. As you can see, it's similar to Shock Nova, and if you were to kill a monster, it actually explodes and deal damage surrounding it. So it acts a little bit like Impulsar. However, I think that you need to be very tanky for this build to work. Otherwise, if you were to go into a pack of mob, you will just die before they even explode. Number 14, we have Forbidden Rite. So Forbidden Rite is a chaos spell that actually shoots lots of projectiles depending on how many nearby enemies are there. But the risk is that you actually take damage according to how much you fire, from what I know. So by using this skill, actually from the video, it actually looks very, very awesome. But you have to find ways to sustain yourself while using this skill. So here we have the Forbidden Rite, where it shoots out multiple projectiles of the purple light damage. But it also actually eats up your own life. So I think if you can find ways to sustain yourself, probably ES builds is the way to go. This skill is actually very awesome. He has very fast clear speed and probably single target damage as well. Number 15, we have Eye of the Winter. So Eye of the Winter will shoot out a projectile, and the projectile will actually releases lots of other shard projectiles in a spiral. It will like shoot out consistently, and the projectile actually gain damage up to 100% more damage by the time they dissipate. So which means the further they go, the more damage it will be done. Okay, I know lots of people are actually talking about this skill is like a duplicate of the D2 or the W2 skill. But well, at least they are trying something out, you know. Okay, so here we have the Eye of the Winter, aka the Diablo 2 skill. Honestly, I think this skill is actually very awesome because it has a very good AoE coverage. And I'm not sure it has any shotgun mechanics, because if it has, this skill is going to be very great for bossing as well. Okay, number 16 we have the Summon Reaper. So Summon Reaper is actually a very cool skill, and it's the new minion skill. It actually inflicts bleeding, so there's an additional perk to it. However, according to the video, they want to make this skill like the ultimate minion skill, where you only use one and only, that is the Summon Reaper. So the downside about this is the Reaper causes your non-Reaper minions to deal 20% less damage and have 20% less maximum life. Also, it actually consumes your minions over time, I think over a period of time. So there's no way we can use Animate Guardian for this build if you ever intend to play a Summon Reaper build. Okay, here we have the Summon Reaper. Honestly, I think the Summon Reaper skill was very cool, but after reading how it works, I think it's really not that great. Firstly, also because GGG mentioned that it's going to have better clear speed and stuff like that. Realistically, I am going to say it is not going to happen because it is melee. And without all the buffs from the other minions, it's not going to work very well unless like at level 20 the Reaper has some insane movement and some new type of skills like Omni Slash. And the bad side is it eats your Guardian, Animate Guardian, where the Animate Guardian actually provides lots of buffs. Okay, number 17 we have Manabond. So Manabond is more like a mana skill where the lightning damage is based on your missing mana and your maximum unreserved mana. So here is Manabond. This skill actually utilizes mana in such a way that if you have more mana, means you have more area of effect, and you have less mana, means you deal more damage. Honestly, I'm not sure how this skill is going to scale about, because if you are running a mana build, you'll probably be running Mind Over Matter, and if you are running Mind Over Matter, means you always want to have your mana pool at maximum or at full. And if your mana pool is always at maximum, means you will not be dealing more damage, but you will only be dealing more AoE damage. So I guess this is more for map clearing. Okay, number 18 we have Absolution. Absolution is also a new minion skill. It's somewhat similar to Dominating Blow as they mentioned, just that it is spell based now. And also the Sentinel that is summoned by Absolution will also use Absolution to hit. However, the downside that I see about this skill is that there is only maximum of 3 summon sentinels, and there isn't one that has like the Dominating Blow where it has the rare summon sentinels and the modifiers of the minions that the monsters that you have killed previously. So having a little bit doubts on this as well. So this is Absolution, somewhat similar to Dominating Blow, just that the Sentinels will be using the Absolution skill as well. The only downside is that it has a maximum of 3 Sentinels only. I'm not sure if at level 20 it'll have more. And on top of that, Dominating Blow actually will capture the rare modifier of the rare mobs. However, Absolution does not. Okay, and last but not least, number 19, we have Battlemage Cry. So Battlemage Cry is War Cry. It's a new War Cry implemented this 3.15. And it actually grants a buff that has increased critical strike chance per 5 power. So it's a maximum of until 30% only. And this skill is sort of like a support skill for triggering attacks is something like Cast on Crit, but I'm really not sure how it works, so we will have to see until then. Okay, so here we have the Battlemage Cry. This skill actually improves your critical strike chance, and it actually serves as a support for a triggering skill, somewhat similar to the Cast on Crit. I'm honestly not sure how this is going to turn out or work, but seeing how it is, it might have some quite significant changes to how triggering skills work. That's why they implemented this new Warcry. And okay, to wrap things up, these are my thoughts about the 19 new skill gems. To me, the top 3 skill gems that might potentially shine is Shield Crush. I gave you an example because Surrender plus Facebreaker is probably nuts, it's crazy. I mean, Surrender already has like 1500 armor, so the multiplicative number is about 100. Because if you remember correctly, Shield Crush scales according to the amount of armor you have, so it's like 15 per armor. And then if Surrender has 1500 armor, it's going to be times 100. So at level 1 is already 5 to 7, which means if we are using Surrender, it's like 500 to 700 physical damage. At level 20, I am really not sure. It can go until 5 digit, probably. Not surprising for me. And the next skill will be Storm Rain. So like I mentioned, Storm Rain, if with GMP and more projectiles, it has a really big AoE. So on top of the big AoE clear, it probably has lots of single target damage also, because of all the arc that is going to search around it. Okay, next will be the Forbidden Rite. Forbidden Rite has also a very huge AoE clearing target. Like I mentioned, it's just how you are going to sustain yourself. So I'm not sure about the single target, but the single target looks very strong to me. Like you can spam all the projectiles and shoot into one spot, and then once they explode, tons of damage will be dealt. Okay, so the bottom 3 skill gems that might not scale so well, in my own opinion. First is Ambush. I think Ambush is really very trash. Like, I don't even know who came out with this skill, because if it's a Flicker Strike, like if he has some sort of similarity to Flicker Strike, where Flicker Strike can bypass the cooldown with Frenzy, it is still not so bad, because you can scale with multi-strike and midi splash or whatsoever, but it doesn't have, and it has a 5-second cooldown. So does it mean I have to hit one time and then run away for 5 seconds before I can hit again? That is not even viable in a pack of mobs. If I hit it once and it doesn't die, especially those rare or magic mobs, what am I gonna do? I can't be like running around for 5 seconds every time before I hit again. So honestly, this is just very trash to me. Okay, next is the Behead support. I think this support gem is really trash also. Firstly, they say it is a mini headhunter. Don't be scammed, it is far from a headhunter. Not even a mini headhunter in my opinion, because like I mentioned, if you were to get the modifiers from the rare monsters, you only get one of it, you do not get all. And on top of it, if you were to kill a second rare monsters, you will not get the first modifier from the rare monsters. It will actually be replaced by it. So yeah, this is very bad. And on top of it, the skill actually does not have any additional damage. So I don't really see what's the point of this skill gem. I mean that yes, it does have like additional damage on the skill gem only when the monsters are at low life. So low life is below 30%, I think, if I'm correct. I can't remember, but yeah, it will be nice if actually it has like 30 to 40% damage with the supporting skills. That would be nice actually. It will be not so bad after all, since it has some extra midi strike range as well. Okay, the last one will be the Spectral Helix. I honestly think this skill is very very cool. Like this is really something that I would want to try out, but just seeing how it works, the projectile is swirling out too slowly. Like I have to stop at one position and then wait for the projectile to swirl outside nicely first before I can enter the room. Otherwise, if I were to enter to a pack of mobs and swirl out, I think I will probably be dead from all the projectiles from all the other minions. So yeah, even if fighting a boss, you can probably gauge some range from him and then wait for the projectiles to swirl out to the boss. But I will just give you an example. What if the boss were to reallocate itself into another position that is not within the Spectral Helix range? You are going to waste lots of time casting the Spectral Helix, and then you have to reposition yourself to somewhat near him and then probably just attack with Spectral Helix again, hoping that the boss will stay there. So honestly, in my own opinion, Spectral Helix is bad as well. So yeah, what are your thoughts, man? What is the most hype skill for you, and what is the worst skill in your opinion? Give me your thoughts. Okay guys, that comes to the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoy watching. I understand that tomorrow will be the manifesto where everybody will get to probably be shocked at all the nerfs since they mentioned already that this patch will be full of nerfs. Like even the flask nerf is actually quite shocking for me. They actually nerf it a lot. But yeah, I do understand that actually flasks are just overpowered in Power Exile now. But we gotta rejoice, man. Once I think that they mentioned we don't have to press like 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 now, right? We can actually use one button to press all of them. I'm not sure. So yeah, let's just see what the manifesto has and I'll do another video on it. Okay, for now, thank you guys for watching. Do remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.